Hello everyone, welcome back. It's been a couple weeks since I did a video. Been very busy. The weather's been beautiful here. It's kept me outdoors, staining my cabin and my shed and my deck and anything where there's wood, basically. Big project. And it just keeps getting a little bit bigger, but we're almost done. The weather has been beautiful. Last episode I talked about embodying the teachings. In this one I wanted to talk about what has happened to my body over the last year especially. And that has to do with what has become known as the carnivore diet. You know, there was a long time ago I never spent much time thinking about what I was eating. We were raised on hot dogs and Pop-Tarts back in the 60s and Lucky Charms and a lot of what I would call garbage now. And a lot of hamburgers and pizzas. And then when I went to Italy back in the 1999 to 2006, I really ate well there. The food's very different over there. The pasta and the flour and the fish, rabbit and carpaccio, which is uncooked meat. Oh, is that good? I love that. And then the cheeses and the wines, and it's a very different way of eating over there. Learned a lot. But then came back to the United States in 2007. One of the big crazes that started around that time, I don't remember exactly, but was smoothies. I don't know when I bought my Vitamax, but I started making giant smoothies. They were good. I liked avocados and kale, and there was a lot of stuff I put in there, fruits and vegetables and leafy greens, collard greens and Swiss chard and kale, and those were good. But over time, I just kind of evolved into more and more vegetarianism. Very slow process. And some proteins, not a lot of fats though, now that I look back on it. Very little fats. And then last year and the year before, I gradually evolved to a lot of fruit. Breakfast was fruits, grains. Even then I went away from the grains for a while. I always loved cereal. But it was fruits and then vegetables and maybe a little salmon in the evenings. And last summer then, I was going through a tough time personally. I even got away from the protein, the salmon, and it became just fruits and vegetables. And my body reacted in a very, very negative way. Some of the things that were going on were my hair was falling out in clumps. My skin looked terrible. It was all the skin in my arm here around my elbow was all loose and sagging. I had massive elephant knees. It was just ugly to do a downward dog and stare at my knees. Oh, they were just terrible. Just skin sagging. And I thought, damn, am I getting that old? You know, but the worst thing was lightheadedness. I was lightheaded all the time, getting up off the couch, getting out of the car. I'd always have to steady myself. And I was scared. I was really scared. I was starting to wonder if I had my mother's heart. My mother had a pacemaker for 25 years, starting in her early 60s. And I started having those thoughts. And I went and got blood work done through the Life Extension Foundation that I've been a member of since the early 90s. And they have some people you talk to that go over your blood test with you, and they're really good. I highly recommend them. And we were talking through my blood test, and it was showing things like pre-diabetes and stuff, and other than that, not much. But the woman asked me an interesting question. She says, how many calories are you taking in every day? And I just said, well, probably not very many because it's all fruit and vegetables. And she let it go at that. But I didn't, because I know when the universe sends me a signal, and that was a signal to me. And I started thinking about it, and I started asking my higher self, what's going on here? You know, what did that mean? And sure enough, a couple things came through my path. Two people, thanks to YouTube and podcasts, and Joe Rogan's podcast especially. The first one is a guy named Mark Sisson. He's 70 years old now, heads up Primal Kitchen, has this philosophy called Primal Living. I've been using his avocado oil. I was introduced to his avocado oil, Primal Kitchen avocado oil, Primal Kitchen mayonnaise. I was introduced to that just a few years ago by a very dear friend, and I still use it today, the avocado oil. And he said something on this snippet on Joe Rogan's podcast. He said the first thing with regards to his eating, he says, I gotta like the taste. And I thought, that makes, why am I torturing myself with shit like spirulina and chlorella that just tastes like crap? You got to mask the taste with a lot of ginger, or a lot of banana, a lot of sweet. And he was talking about just eating what he enjoys. And then the other one was Dr. Sean Baker, who is the author of the book, The Carnivore Diet. And I listened to those, and the next day I went out and bought some bacon and eggs. And I haven't looked back. Eventually I went to pork chops at night, bacon and eggs in the morning. I did change out from, instead of the pig, I went to the cow. So mornings now is eggs and ground beef patties, and in the evenings it's usually a chicken breast. But sometimes I'll have, like tonight, I'll have a New York strip steak. But as soon as I made that change from the fruits and vegetables and grains, I was even doing some lentils and, experimenting with beans so off and on. As soon as I changed from that to fats and protein, everything changed in my body. And this was a year ago. It was a year ago, September. Lightheadedness immediately went away. I was malnourished. It was terrible. But my skin has healed up. It's no longer sagging on my arms. It's thick. And what was happening at the same time, last summer when I was living in this place called Whittier, North Carolina, I was going to see this woman who's a traditional Chinese medicine specialist. She's from China, speaks very broken English, really knows her stuff. She's also an acupuncturist. I went and saw her about every week for about 8 weeks. And she was commenting on my skin too, about how terrible it looked. It was thin and sagging. And now it's not. I have to go back and see her. She's about an hour away from me right now, and so I haven't been able to get up there. But my skin, my elephant knees are gone. My hair's gotten thicker. And I've, with working at Lowe's and deadlifting toilets on a regular basis, 2,000 or 3,000 pounds a night is not unusual. And vanities and shower doors that can weigh 200 pounds. I've put on muscle mass at the age of 64, 65 now, when that's not supposed to be possible. And my body has just gotten a lot stronger and a lot healthier thanks to this carnivore diet. I can't say enough about it. So I do not do I had a couple apples recently, but other than that, I have in the last, especially the last 4 months, I've had no fruit, no vegetables, no grains. I haven't any grains, sugar, beans, legumes. Haven't any of that in a year. And I just feel great. And you can see it. You can see it in my skin, see it in my hair, my nails, everything. I also don't get any mouth sores anymore, canker sores. Used to get those. Don't get those anymore, which is very interesting. Of course, I found a remedy for those, which is ginger root. If you ever get a mouth sore, just eat a little piece of ginger root every morning for a couple days. It'll clear it right up. But getting the body strong so that we can embody the teachings, as I was talking about in the last video, is paramount, especially for us men. This world needs strong men right now. We've got a lot of weak men. There's some kind of saying that floated by me a couple times recently. Weak men create hard times, and hard times create strong men, and strong men create weak times, and something along those lines. But right now we are in hard times. Weak men create hard times. That's what it was. And right now we're in hard times with a lot of weak men. Whether they're soy boys running around, or just all this vegetarianism that you see. People with sagging skin, very obese, not a lot of muscle mass. It's all connected to the food supply. Generally speaking, I mean, you just walk into the store and you can see it. Walk into the grocery store, walk into Walmart. Never thought I'd be a Walmart person, but I am, since that's the only thing available other than the grocery store. But I don't go in there very often if I can avoid it. But I just wanted to reiterate that, or just tell the story about, I do plan on going back and get the blood work done and see what the difference is. And since it's been a year now, and it's been hardcore carnivore for about 4 going on 5 months now, and I'll pay to have the blood work done. The full scan's like about $500, and then you get the consultation with it. But it's worth it. These people really know their stuff. So that's what I wanted to do. That's what I wanted to talk about, is getting physically strong. Because even on a day like today, when I'm tired, working a lot, both at work and on my house, and a little bit exhausted physically, but still got some things done today. We got to be strong. We got to be physically strong so that we could be mentally, emotionally, and spiritually strong. Because weak people are easy to control. And we've got this galactic battle going on for the soul of humanity. And it is a galactic battle. And it's not going to end anytime soon. There's no savior coming. So each one of us needs to get strong. So whether you're doing bodywork exercises like MoveNat, or Qigong and yoga, whatever you got to do, make sure you feed yourself well. For the men, fats and proteins, healthy fats, ghee. I use ghee, avocado oil. I love this Amish raw milk aged cheese that I get. Oh, it's so good. Eat that one twice a day. It's my little appetizer. 4 eggs a day. 3 ground beef patties. That's the usual breakfast. I was in a hurry the other morning because I set the alarm clock wrong. A few times I have to set an alarm clock. I forgot how. So I had 6 eggs. It got me through a large part of the day. And the other thing that's very interesting about this carnivore diet is you don't get hunger pangs. I don't get hungry. I don't feel hungry. Like right now, I haven't eaten since 10:30 in the morning. Right now it's after 5 o'clock. I have no hunger, not at all, but I'm going to go take a shower and then eat a steak, and it'll be good. It was good last night, too. I had one last night. Whew, it was really good. So take a look at the carnivore diet. Take a look at Mark Sisson's work, Primal Living, Primal Kitchen. Of the last year, I would say the 8 months was roughly what you would call keto or ketovore. You know, all these funny labels. From ketovore to carnivore. But predominantly protein and fats. What we're finding out is that what I've been studying, grains, fruits and vegetables, especially the starchy vegetables, get converted to sugar, which then gets converted to body fat. And that's what we're seeing a lot of. That and the seed oils seem to be a big piece of this puzzle too, the obesity puzzle. But whatever the cause, get yourself some grass-fed beef, pasture-raised chickens and eggs. You know, whatever tickles your fancy, but dairy and meat. Get yourself strong. Make a commitment to being strong. The world needs you. The world needs all of us strong, especially the men right now. Because the battle rages, and it's going to get bigger next year. And the other thing about being strong is then you can manage those emotions, manage that emotional body so that we can be present and hold the space for the divine feminine that is rising every day right now. That is part of our role as the divine masculine here. We've got to stop being the traumatized masculine, heal ourselves so that we can hold that space for these beautiful feminines. The world, she is a-changing, and the divine feminine is rising. It includes inside us men too. But we have to be strong, because that's how we're going to create a better planet and a better society. Don't forget, get strong. I'll talk to you later. Bye now.